This world hides secrets that are so bizarre that they sound like fiction until the evidence stares us in the face.
Yes, the Kleiner Hollandia was discovered in 2019, but has only now been officially identified.
A Nazi moon base, an alien skull in Denmark.
Aliens did occasionally visit Earth.
A silver wedding dress preserved beneath the sea. From deserts scanned by AI to ancient rituals buried in blood, these discoveries are rewriting everything we thought we knew about history. Some are terrifying, others strangely beautiful. But all of them raise the same question. What else is out there, still waiting to be unearthed? Buckle up, because these are the shocking discoveries that could change history forever. Jerusalem's Lost Garden. Jerusalem is a city soaked in faith, myth, and history. But sometimes, even legends leave behind seeds, quite literally. Beneath the sacred stones of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, archaeologists recently unearthed something quietly astonishing: a handful of ancient olive pits and pollen traces dating back over 2,000 years. Why is that a big deal? Because it connects directly to one of the most sacred moments in Christianity. According to the Gospel of John, Jesus was buried in a garden near the site of his crucifixion. For centuries, that detail was treated as symbolic. But now, physical proof of that garden has been discovered. Professor Francesca Zzola and her team from Sapienza University found 1st century AD plant remains, grapevines, olives, and even evidence of cultivated soil. The dating matches up precisely with the New Testament timeline. It's not just religiously powerful, it's historically profound. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre has been rebuilt, destroyed, and rebuilt again over the last 1,700 years. Most of what stands today is Crusader architecture, but underneath the layers of war and worship lies a quiet green space that once grew beneath the Roman sun. This garden, it turns out, was real, and now, after millennia of silence, it's begun to speak. The woman in the silver dress. In the chilly waters off the Dutch island of Texel, a centuries-old secret was waiting beneath the waves. There, hidden inside the wreck of a 17th century ship, divers found something no one expected: 2 perfectly preserved dresses. One of them, a masterpiece of pale silk and actual silver thread, looked like it belonged to a queen. This wasn't just fabric, it was status. Alongside the gown were silk stockings, a velvet purse, and a silver mirror. The items were sealed inside a wooden trunk, tucked away as if packed for a wedding or a royal visit. But whoever the woman was, she never reached her destination. The ship sank, and with it, her story. Historians still don't know her name, but her style? Flawless. Experts believe she was likely a noblewoman or a diplomat's wife returning to Amsterdam. The dress, woven in a braided heart pattern with silver embroidery, was so intricate that modern textile makers struggle to recreate it. Her mirror, though corroded, still reflects faint light, as if holding a memory. 400 years later, she's a ghost wrapped in fabric, remembered not by name but by silk and silver. Whoever she was, she left behind one of the most haunting fashion statements in maritime history. Ancient Egypt's robotic dog. Ancient Egypt gave us pyramids, mummies, and gods carved in stone, but it also gave us something a little more adorable. Tucked among artifacts from the 18th dynasty, archaeologists discovered what might be the world's oldest mechanical toy: a tiny ivory dog with a bite. This isn't just a decorative figurine. When you pull a hidden lever beneath its belly, the dog's mouth opens to reveal small carved teeth and a tongue painted red. It's like a prehistoric robot. No batteries, no wires, just imagination and craftsmanship. And it's over 3,000 years old. Made from elephant ivory, this toy likely belonged to someone extremely wealthy, perhaps even royalty. It wasn't found in a child's tomb or toy chest. Instead, it was part of the personal collection of Howard Carter, the very man who discovered King Tut's tomb. To this day, no one knows exactly where it came from. Was it a tribute to a beloved hunting dog, a novelty gift for a noble child, or a symbol of status, like a golden iPhone of the ancient world? One thing is clear: Egyptians didn't just revere cats, they loved their dogs too. And this intricate toy is proof. Sometimes the smallest things tell the biggest stories. Hitler on the moon. It sounds like a bad sci-fi movie, but some people truly believe that Adolf Hitler didn't die in 1945. Instead, he launched himself into space. According to one of the wildest conspiracy theories ever cooked up, the Nazis had a secret base in Antarctica, and from that frozen launch pad, they supposedly sent the Führer to the moon. Yes, really. The story goes that after faking his death, Hitler escaped to an underground Antarctic bunker equipped with advanced Nazi technology, including UFO-like aircraft. Then, sometime after the war, he blasted off in a rocket to live out the rest of his days stomping around moon craters and carving swastikas into the lunar surface. This bizarre tale helped inspire Robert Heinlein's 1947 novel Rocket Ship Galileo, where Nazis had a moon base before NASA was even founded. The theory grew legs during the UFO craze of the 1950s, with some claiming that sightings in the US were just stray Nazi spacecraft. What's the evidence? Not much, just whispers about missing Nazi scientists, alleged lunar gold purchases, and heavily debunked photographs. Still, the idea persists in fringe circles. Real or not, the Moon Hitler myth reminds us how history, science fiction, and paranoia can fuse into something totally absurd and endlessly fascinating. Trojans and their love for wine. Forget the Trojan horse. Ancient Troy might have been one big wine festival. Recent studies reveal that the people of Troy weren't just warriors and poets, they were enthusiastic drinkers. Chemical analysis of ancient pottery shows that wine flowed freely in the legendary city, from the royal courts to the humble homes of peasants. Using techniques like gas chromatography and mass spectrometry, researchers discovered residues of fermented grape juice in two-handled clay goblets called Deepus cups. But here's the kicker. These cups weren't only found in temples or palaces, they were dug up in the working-class neighborhoods of ancient Troy. That means wine wasn't just for the elite, it was for everyone. Trojans drank it during ceremonies, social gatherings, and maybe even after a long day of goat herding. It was a culture where wine was woven into daily life, like coffee in modern offices or energy drinks at exam season. The epic poet Homer may have exaggerated some things, but his descriptions of Trojans passing around wine-filled goblets were spot on. This wasn't just poetic flair, it was a historical fact. So while Hollywood loves to show Trojans charging into battle, real history paints a more relaxed picture. They were just as likely to be raising a toast as raising a sword. Teen sacrifices in Mesopotamia. At a site in southeastern Turkey, archaeologists made a discovery so unsettling it chilled even the most seasoned experts. Beneath the ruins of the ancient city of Bashur Huyuk, they found the remains of young girls, carefully arranged but clearly sacrificed. This wasn't a war, it wasn't a disease, it was a ritual. The graves, dating back over 5,000 years, contained two well-dressed children surrounded by the bodies of at least 8 others, most of them adolescent girls. DNA analysis revealed something surprising. They weren't family. In fact, they weren't even from the same region. They were strangers, brought together for one brutal reason. This wasn't a royal burial with loyal servants following their master into death. It was something darker. Some researchers believe it was part of a terrifying rite of passage, an ancient coming-of-age trial where not everyone made it through. Others suggest it was a sacrifice meant to please gods or spirits, with youth and purity being the ultimate offering. Whatever the reason, it suggests that adolescence in this Bronze Age society wasn't just a phase, it was a trial. A threshold between childhood and adulthood is marked not with cake and candles, but with blood and burial. We may never know why these girls were chosen, but we do know one thing: they were not forgotten. Now first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you. AI uncovers desert city. Deep beneath the burning sands of the Arabian desert, a lost city lay hidden for thousands of years until artificial intelligence found it. No shovels, no dirt-covered archaeologists, just radar, satellites, and machines that see what human eyes can't. The discovery happened in the Rub al-Khali, also known as the Empty Quarter, one of the most lifeless places on Earth. But researchers had a hunch. They used synthetic aperture radar and AI-powered algorithms to scan beneath the dunes, peeling back layers of sand without disturbing a single grain. What they found was extraordinary: road networks, structured settlements, and hints of a long-lost Bronze Age civilization. Not just tents or nomadic trails, but an actual city. complete with planned streets and what appear to be ancient trade routes. It turns out this empty desert may have once been bustling with life, commerce, and culture. The civilization remains nameless for now, but its existence changes everything we thought we knew about early human settlement in Arabia. It proves that even in the most inhospitable environments, ancient people found a way to thrive. With this success, AI is now being deployed in Amazon, the Sahara, and even Siberia. The era of digital archaeology is just beginning, and it's already rewriting history. King Tut's resurrection ritual. You'd think after 100 years, King Tut's tomb would be out of surprises. But no, Egypt's golden boy still has secrets to share. This time, they come in the form of dusty old objects that were long overlooked. Some plain wooden staffs and simple clay trays. For decades, archaeologists dismissed them as ceremonial clutter, maybe coat hangers or basic storage dishes.
It was absolutely a magnificent discovery, made headline news all over the world, and really sort of captured public imagination at just the right time.
But Yale Egyptologist Dr. Nicholas Brown took a closer look, and what he found is stunning. These weren't random items. They were tools for a sacred resurrection ritual tied to the god Osiris. According to ancient belief, Osiris, the ruler of the underworld, had the power to reawaken the dead. The clay trays once held sacred Nile water used in libations to guide the pharaoh into the afterlife. The staff? Not walking sticks. They were symbolic wands placed near the body, possibly to wake Tut after death, like alarm clocks for mummies. This ritual was part of a religious reboot. Tutankhamun's father, Akhenaten, had tried to replace the old gods with a single sun deity. When Tut took over, he brought the gods back. These humble objects were part of that return. Physical proof of a spiritual revival. It's not always the gold that tells the story. Sometimes it's the dust-covered pieces everyone ignored. The Sealand alien skull. In the quiet town of Ølstykke, Denmark, a man digging sewer lines unearthed something that didn't belong. At first, the skull looked like a horse, maybe a relic from the property's past as a horse butcher's yard. But once cleaned, it became clear this was no horse, and it definitely wasn't human. The skull had enormous eye sockets, an elongated shape, and features that didn't match any known mammal. Local scientists were baffled. It was eventually passed to the Niels Bohr Institute, yes, the place known for quantum physics, because even veterinary experts had no clue what it was. Carbon dating placed the skull between 1200 and 1280 AD, meaning it wasn't a modern prank. But here's where things get weird. It was found near modern sewer pipes, suggesting it had been buried recently. So who put it there, and why? That's where the Order of Pegasus enters the story, a rumored secret society founded in 1350 to protect powerful artifacts. Some even claim Shakespeare and Thomas Jefferson were members. One theory suggests the skull was deliberately hidden to keep humanity from discovering the truth, that we've never been alone. Is it an alien relic, a forgotten species, or a centuries-old hoax taken too far? No one knows for sure. But that skull still has scientists scratching their heads. Japan's barebone blunder. For over 70 years, Japan proudly believed it had discovered its oldest human remains, fossilized bones believed to date back 20,000 years. These ancient relics were found in the 1950s at a quarry in Toyohashi and were hailed as a historic breakthrough. Museums displayed them. Textbooks referenced them. But then science caught up. In recent years, researchers from the University of Tokyo decided to re-examine the bones using modern imaging techniques like CT scans. What they discovered caused national embarrassment. The bones, so confidently declared human, weren't human at all. They belonged to a prehistoric brown bear. Yes, Japan's oldest person turned out to be a bear named Ursus arctos. It wasn't just a funny mix-up. It reshaped Japan's prehistoric timeline. The title of oldest human remains had to be handed over to bones found in Hamakita, which date back only 14,000 to 17,000 years. Still ancient, but not quite the record-setting claim everyone had hoped for. This blunder also reignited questions about other early discoveries. How many more could be wrong? And how often has enthusiasm gotten ahead of evidence? In a strange way, the bear did leave its mark on history. For decades, it fooled scientists, misled a nation, and reminded us that even experts can be wrong, sometimes hilariously so. We often think history is settled, that the past has already told us everything it has to say. But then, a skull turns up in a Danish backyard. A mechanical dog resurfaces from an Egyptian tomb. A city lost beneath the desert reveals its streets without a single shovel of dirt being lifted. These aren't just stories. They are reminders that the past is alive, waiting, whispering, daring us to look closer. From the bizarre idea of Nazis on the moon to sacred gardens unearthed in Jerusalem, every discovery in this video adds a new thread to the tangled fabric of human history. Some make us laugh, some make us shiver, and some make us question everything we thought we knew about where we came from and who we are. That's the magic of history. It evolves, it hides, and sometimes, when we least expect it, it shouts back at us from beneath the sand, the sea, or the stone. Which discovery stunned you the most? Was it the elegance of the silver dress, or the horror of the Mesopotamian sacrifices? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you're ready for more mysteries, more revelations, and more reality-defying truths, stick around. We've only just begun to dig.